It's April 10th. It's a Thursday night. I was thinking about going to hang out at some bars and try to meet some strangers, but I've been feeling crappy all day. So let's see. I did have a really good weekend though. Last weekend was really amazing. Did a lot of stuff. Went to multiple parties. Went and rode my wheel in the Presidio and did pickleball. There was a picnic in the park thing that I went to. Taught some people how to ride my unicycle. And also I finally got my friend Granny gave me his let me borrow his 360 degree view camera, so I'm going to be taking some videos on my unicycle soon with that, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, so just a little update. Okay, I wanted to record a quick update. What have I been thinking about the last few days? I've been thinking about hope and teleology, and how I think like teleology represents purpose, right? And I think when you focus on purpose, it acts as a constraint. It makes it a lot easier for you to make decisions because the world is chaotic, and so you need constraints to limit your options in a helpful way. When you start with your purpose, it makes it that when you start with a purpose, it clarifies your priorities, because you can really easily measure your priorities against your purpose or your goals or your dreams or your hopes. All these future oriented things. If you have a specific goal or you have hopes or dreams, and then you can measure your priorities against those and really easily figure out if your priorities are correct. And I think it does it in a way where I think that the opposite, causal deterministic thinking, I'm abbreviating that now to functional thinking, because I think it's a reasoning about thing from its function rather than its purpose. Functional thinking does not help you do this in the same way. And obviously, as always, they are a spectrum, and so you need both of them. They're like two peas in a pod. Kind of like, I think the relationship of like volts and amps in electricity is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's a good analogy, because you can't have volts or amps by themselves. You need both in order to have any electricity. And it's the same, like in order to reason, you need both types of reasoning. But I definitely think that, like, for some reason, somehow, like, causal deterministic reasoning is much more popular in our world, and it's weird because it's obviously like not everything. And so it's like, so if you turn your attention to the future, if you turn your attention to what you want to do next, it allows you to measure your priorities against those things, and it just helps you make a lot more sense of what things you're going to do. And so I've been thinking a lot about how it's like, if you ask yourself like what is possible, that's like a trap. It's like a weird trap that I don't feel like is really often acknowledged. But if you ask yourself what is possible, then you automatically think causal deterministically. You evaluate what is instead of what could be, and you are limited after you start asking yourself that sort of question to what things, or just what things you know about. And so if you don't ask that, if you focus on your hopes and your dreams, if you focus on your aspirations, then you are like inherently more creative. You sort of like seek out new ideas and new like alternative ways of doing things. And it's just like, I don't know, it's very like simple, fundamental, better way of approaching things. And I was thinking about, like, I had a few experiences this week where I think I sort of like closed myself off to opportunities too early, because like I was around people who were saying like, well, these are the things that I want, or at least like, yeah, like they were saying these are the things that they wanted, but I don't think that they actually did want that. They just were like saying it because it made logical sense to them, but like they were closing themselves off to opportunities, and I sort of like allowed them to say that. But I think in retrospect, like if I had just sort of like taken the things that they said they wanted as a suggestion, which I think is more like what it was, it's more like a suggestion, then I think everyone would have had a better time if I had treated that way. And so I don't know. I was just thinking about that a lot. Also thinking about how like this whole theory about relative ethics versus absolute ethics. I think the relative ethics are like super fundamental to like good perspective. I think that like once you start using relative ethics rather than absolute ethics, it just opens up a whole world of opportunity for like things to become better in ways that like they can't. I think like relative ethics are just like superior across the board. Where they can be used, you should absolutely use them always. And just like, yeah, if you use relative ethics, you're more likely to relate with other people easier, and if you relate with other people easier, you're more likely to like turn your attention to the future. You're more likely to be turning attention to your hopes. You're more likely to I don't know, do all that sort of stuff. I was also thinking about selfishness and like the virtue of selfishness, because I do think that like I don't know, selfishness and selflessness, like generally speaking, are like is like a spectrum of perspective, I guess. And yeah, there's kind of some loose overlap there between like the absolute and relative ethics thing. I think that the more self-interested you are, the more likely you are to have relative ethics. And but I mean, I don't know. That's a little bit undefined so far. I'm not sure about that. But I've just been thinking about like the virtue of selfishness and like when is it categorically always like better to be selfish in your perspective rather than selfless. And I kind of feel like there is probably a lot more places where that is true. Yeah, let's see.
Slight right onto Ecology Trail, then slight left to stay on Ecology Trail.
Whoa, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. That's pretty. On your right? Sorry, thank you, thank you.
Slight left to stay on Ecology Trail, then turn right to stay on Ecology Trail. In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Excuse me.
I went to.
Are you still in Agape?
I went to. I'm moving out.
You're moving out?
Yes.
When?
It looked too good.
It's like a dragon thing.
So are you painting in the feathers now?
Is it? Are they dragon scales?
Or the scales?
They can be. I don't know. I was just drawing, flowing of inspiration.
At first, I thought it was like tiger. It's supposed to be like a tiger, but it was more looked at as more like a snake. I think.
Yeah,
Or-
because it's the snake pattern.
Scales.
Yeah. I love it. Oh my god, this is so
And
cool.
it matches with your
Yeah,
sweater.
it does. It's perfect. Ah, I love it so much.
So,
Thank you so much. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. You should go next.
Oh, I felt like there were people queuing up, so I feel
Oh,
bad
yeah.
if I was
Isn't this the coolest? Wait, hold on. This is the coolest place.
I do like that.